To begin this session, picture with me, if you will, an alien. He gains fuel and energy from osmosis when he lands on a unique something that resembles a refrigerator. This refrigerator feeds him automatically. He never has to ask for food. The alien then takes a trip to visit planet Earth, and he lands in a quaint, small town. Suddenly, he becomes hungry. His eyes droop. His stomach aches. He finds an Earth refrigerator, but it doesn't automatically feed him like the one at home. A friendly Earthling sees the weak alien and points to Jack's diner. The alien goes to Jack's, and after watching the activity for a moment, he uses hand signals to order food. He manages to eat a cheeseburger and fries, but he doesn't understand when the waitress hands him a bill. She keeps insisting on getting paid, but the alien doesn't understand her at all. Well, now some men in uniforms enter, and they take the alien away to a small room with bars on it. The alien is more than a little puzzled.
Poor little alien. It would be more than a little puzzling to find yourself transported to a place with different rules, with rules that you didn't understand, but everyone else did. Well, people raised in families where God's ways of boundaries are not practiced have experiences similar to that of the alien. They find themselves transported into adult life where spiritual principles that have never been explained to them govern their relationships and well-being. They are hurt, they're angry, they may end up in jail, but they never know the principles that could have helped them operate in accord with reality instead of against reality. Well, thankfully, the reality God has established is an orderly one based on knowable laws and principles. Spiritual realities are as real as gravity, and we need to know these principles God has woven into life and operate according to them. Right now, we'll look at two of these laws. Law number one is the law of sowing and reaping. Now, this law of cause and effect is a basic law of life. When God tells us in Galatians chapter 6, verses 7 and 8, that we will reap what we sow, He's not punishing us. He's telling us how things really are. Sometimes, however, people don't reap what they sow because someone else steps in and reaps the consequences for them. People who have no boundaries often do this kind of interrupting. They step in and rescue people, irresponsible people. Now, we call a person who continually rescues or enables another person to be irresponsible codependent. These sowers don't learn the lesson they could have learned. Law number two is the law of responsibility. Now, many times when people hear a talk on boundaries and taking responsibility for their own lives, they say, that's so self-centered. We should love one another and deny ourselves. Well, despite the wording, that view is unbiblical. The law of responsibility includes loving others. The commandment to love is the entire law for Christians. Look at Galatians chapter 5, verses 13 and 14. Jesus calls it my commandment. Love each other as I have loved you. And that's out of John chapter 15, verse 12. Anytime you are not loving others, you are not taking full responsibility for yourself. In fact, you've disowned your own heart. We are to love one another, not be one another. I can't grow for you, and you can't grow for me. But the biblical mandate for our own personal growth is to continue to work out your salvation with fear and trembling, for it's God who works in you to will and to act according to His good purpose. Philippians chapter 2, verses 12 and 13. You are responsible for yourself. I am responsible for myself. And we are both responsible to give to needs and put limits on sin. And boundaries help us to do just that.